Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Moss Nissan in Newport Richey, Florida, because we have a subcompact competitor from Nissan. This is a 2020 Kicks. This one is the SR trim. But before we get into this Nissan Kicks, let's talk a little bit about what it represents. So the subcompact crossover SUV category is really starting to heat up. A lot of people wanting something in a smaller size and especially good on the value and the dollar. Now, this Kicks actually replaces Nissan's previous Juke. Juke kind of had some controversial styling. Some people loved it. Some people thought it looked like a funny kind of Japanese anime cartoon character. The Kicks, though, replacing it actually comes in cheaper, comes in at a lower price point than the Nissan Juke, and promises more interior space. Now, the overall design, believe it or not, took place at the Nissan studios in Brazil. But this Kicks is, like I said, Nissan's competitor to go up against the Hyundai Kona, the Kia Seltos, that new Chevrolet Trailblazer, and so many other examples in this class. So let's go ahead, dive into this 2020 Kicks at the SR trim and see, really, is it the standout subcompact SUV that Nissan is hoping for? Right off the bat, you'll see the very unique Nissan branded styling. I think with the Juke, it really didn't fall into line very well with the rest of the vehicles in Nissan's lineup. With this Kicks, you can see you have a very, very large headlight housing, blacked out on the interior, a little bit of chrome treatment, a little bit of silver, and then a projector beam style headlight design. You drop down, you're gonna have your lower fog lamps. They have some fake vent looking design here, but it actually does not look too shabby, like it's not trying too hard to look like a fake vent. So I'm not gonna zonk it, and I do like the flat black, and this overall design does mimic some of the other SUVs in Nissan's lineup. Now, when we come across the front middle portion of the front fascia, you'll see that branded V-motion shaped grille. You look at any Nissan, whether it's the GTR, the 370Z, which yes, they still make the 370Z if you could believe that, all have this V-branded grille. It's called V-motion. Got bright chrome, some flat black. All of this, though, this top portion, that's all non-functional. The only parts that are functional are kind of here in the center. You do have a forward-facing camera because this SR trim does have full 360-degree camera. You drop down, you have some flat black with some horizontal slots, and I do like the way the front fascia has this nice painted lower section. Really matches very well with the rest of what's going on. Now, when you get up onto the hood, hood fits flush with the grille. You're gonna have nice rounded body line on the corners of the hood going towards that headlight design, and then you have the two higher peaks that kind of almost go towards the windshield, and then they curve and go towards the A-pillars. You can see just how massive this headlight is, and it's interesting how they really put a lot of design work into it. It's got a lot of different elements of shape to fit into the front fascia. Now, when we come around the bend, here's what we're working with on the SR trim. So you're gonna have this machined aluminum gloss black wheel. It's a 17-inch wheel, 205 on the width on the tires, 55 series sidewall. It's gonna give you a nice comfy ride. They bring the flat black of the fender treatment just high enough. I think if they went too much higher, it would have looked a little bit more like the CX-30, Mazda CX-30, which that's another competitor to this Nissan Kicks, but like the nice body line in the fender. And you can see what I was telling you about with that headlight design. I've never seen a headlight housing, I don't think, come so high. I mean, it's almost in line with the hood. Very, very unique, kind of quirky styling there. Now, when we go down the side, this being an SR trim, you're gonna have gloss black on your mirrors, you slim and trim on the LEDs. This one has the two-tone motif. So you have a gloss black roof with your bright metallic silver roof rails. But here's what's interesting, and I'm gonna zonk it. Flat black on the A-pillars. They should have made this gloss black, brought the gloss black down all the way down to where they meet the fender. Down below, you're gonna have some flat black with a little bit of silver, I think kind of breaks it up just enough. And very unique high belt line that goes all the way towards that passenger door, and then you have another one. It's very interesting how it picks up here and then glides all the way back. You have color matched door handles, which is a nice touch. And then you can see that floating roof design that Nissan really brought into play when they came out with the redesign of the Nissan Maxima a few years ago, that floating roof design. So you have the flat black here with the gloss black, and then when you get into the tail end of the business, you can see like that same similar setup with the headlight housing, how the taillight housing extends out. On the SR trim, you have a low roof spoiler. I'm zonking this guy here. That little dangly thing. I wish they would just go with a shark fin antenna instead of that older style, almost looks like a remote control car, like I'm gonna drive you around in your Nissan Kicks. Now, we drop down, clean on the badging, SR, and then flat black, which is good because this is gonna take a nicer beating as your kids are scraping their backpacks and God knows what else out of the back of your Kicks. And then the other nice touch is it's fairly clean underneath. They actually did a really great job taking that exhaust pipe and kind of tucking it underneath there, and the rest of this is flat black. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this Nissan Kicks. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. What I do love is how large this opening is. Your prop rod is so far to the passenger side, it's almost like not even existent. Underneath the hood though, no plastic cover. If you ever wanted to learn about what does an actual engine look like, you could do that on this Nissan Kicks because you could actually see it. That's a 1.6 liter inline 4 engine, 125 horsepower, 115 pound-feet of torque. It's all mated through that CVT transmission. The Kicks weighs around 2,650 pounds, 0 to 60. You're probably not gonna be winning many drag races, 9.5 seconds. But here's the good news. You may not be winning drag races, but you're gonna be passing up a lot of gas stations because you're gonna get 31 miles to the gallon in the city, 36 on the highway. And just a reminder, this SR trim, these massive headlight housings actually have LED headlights. So it's that projector beam LED headlight. Why don't we go ahead, let's get to that interior and see if big things do come in small packages. All right, guys, we're inside the Nissan Kicks SR trim. This one is pretty much fully loaded, two-tone roof, the whole shabam. I know you're probably wondering, well, Joe, how much does the whole shabam cost? MSRP, fully loaded, you're looking at around $24,000. That really outdoes, when it comes to pricing, what the competition's bringing to the table for a fully loaded example. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, to the door panels, a lot of hard plastic as to be expected, and the design is a little underwhelming. They put the door handle to open up the door. It's almost like they kind of just took a Dremel tool and dremeled out some space in the plastic to drop in that chrome door handle, which seems out of place. Armrest is like a rubber material. It's semi-soft, a little bit of silver trim. What I like is in the pocket down below, you do have enough room for a Whopper and a package of fries and a Mr. Pibb to wash it all down. But that silver kind of gives you a little bit of extra color on the door panel. Now, dash, hard up top, but I love the soft material, the stitch work. Even that round AC vent looks tasteful with a little bit of gloss black, a little bit of silver. Hard above the glove box, but there is a lot of this soft material with the stitch work that really elevates the overall feel. Now, all Nissan Kicks get a 7-inch infotainment system screen, obviously touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all come standard, which is really nice. Let me show you cameras. So you have your 360, obviously we have the doors open, and out back, you have your trajectory, very, very nicely done. Excuse me, that's out front, you have your trajectory, and then when I put in reverse, out back, you also have your trajectory. So the great news is at $24,000, you're getting some great tech here when it comes to cameras and accessibility. And I like the way they kind of put this nicely in this soft touch area of the dash. We drop down, you have your standard AC controls, heated seats, no ventilated seats, but that's okay at this price point. I like the controls with the silver. They're easy to use, easy to figure out. You drop down, you have your 12 volt, a USB, an aux jack, and then guess what? I hope you like Snickers because you got a lot of room in here for your Snickers. You can just stack them up so you're never hangry. This is going to control that CVT transmission. I like the way they place their start-stop button right by the shifter, so it's like start, throw it into reverse, back out of your driveway, back out of the garage. Hopefully you open up the door so you don't rip through the garage door like the Kool-Aid Man in your Kicks. It's the little touches. It's weird because they did a great job with the soft touch material and the stitch work here and over here, but what happened on the door panels? Did the sewing machine break that day or something? I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Now it is harder here, but that, like I said, $24,000. Let's keep it in check. You got a nice place for your M&Ms, 2 cup holders. You have the same key fob that they've been using since Noah had his Ark. So you're gonna have that same Nissan key fob. It's simple, it's small, and it's not gonna poke you in the groin, which is nice. And it has remote start, which is a nice touch. It's just, it's a little bit dated. Sort of looks like a boat, like a little ship. 2 cup holders. This armrest is hilarious. So you have pretty soft material. The stitch work, look at this little extension here. That kind of looks a little phallic in a way. Open it up, you got enough room in there. You're not gonna be able to put a Twinkie in there. If you do, you're gonna just squirt cream everywhere. You're probably gonna have to fill this up with Mike and Ike's. So if you like Mike and Ike's, just dump them in there. And then if you like saving your pennies, you could actually put pennies in this little slot here, which is really nice. But the overall design is kind of quirky, and I wish they would have just extended this out a little bit. And then if I wanted drinks, then kind of flip it up, because I really don't have much room for my arm. Seats though, they did a really great job. I like the stitch work, very nice soft material. Even the way they did the center portions, it definitely looks higher end. When it comes to seat controls, you do have manual seats for both the passenger and the driver. I would have liked to at least have electric assist. I know it's $24,000. I think they could have gave me electric assist for the driver over here. Headliner reminds me of a almost 1970s shag carpet or a dog. Kind of interesting. I like the way it's a lighter color. And then you have a very, very simple rearview mirror, no fancy auto dimming or anything like that. But why don't you come over to the business end? I'll show you behind the wheel of this 2020 Kicks. All right, guys, business time. I really like the little touches. They really add up to a bigger picture. The nice kicks on the sill down there. And then seat controls, they're manual, but you know what? They're easy. I'd rather have this than those annoying knobs that you have to twist. This is really easy to get to. Look at this. Here's a nice little Twinkie slot. You're only gonna be able to probably fit 1 Twinkie in there, but they got you covered. They didn't forget you and your Twinkies. And then the craziest thing about the Nissan vehicles, especially these SUVs, this looks like a steering wheel out of a GTR or something. Flat bottom, nice stitch work all the way around. You got flat black on the buttons, little bit of silver, no paddles if you wanna shift manually through the simulated gears with the CVT. I'm actually gonna shut off the vehicle because I wanna show what's going on here when you start up. It's kind of cool. So you have that digital display and an analog speedometer. Watch this. Start her up and you get this cool image of a Kicks down there spinning around. Kind of looks neat. Let me clear out. Yes, we know we got the door open. There's your tach. Nice digital tach, nice and large. Of course, you're going to get the whole 360 shield of protection from Nissan with your lane keep assist, emergency braking. All that's going to have you covered to keep you safe. Why don't we get to the back seat and see if your passengers are going to enjoy driving in this Kicks. All right, guys, back seat time in the Nissan Kicks. Here's where you're going to get that increased interior room, which is really nice. Lots of headroom. I'm 6 feet tall. Felt good up front. Definitely feel good out back. I like the way they bring the leather material all the way around. Nice large pocket for your abacus, for a back scratcher. Maybe you want to put a notebook in there or two. Maybe you have a diary that you want to hide in there. Look at this. You actually have USB, 2 USB ports back here, which is nice so that your kids aren't going to have their electronic devices die. I also want to show you, I don't know if Tom could show you from that side. It's kind of hard, but you actually have Bose speakers built into the headrest. So this has the optional Bose sound system. They even have them in the headrest, so you could really just rock out to Kid Cudi or something like that while you're in your Nissan Kicks. I like this. The seats are actually comfortable. I feel good. There's no armrest. So hopefully you have somebody who's willing to just let you use them as an armrest, because there's really nowhere to place your arm. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the cargo area and see how much space there is in the Kicks. All right, guys, time to check out the space. Does a big amount of space come in a small package. Real easy to open. You just hit the button, you use a little bit of strength, you lift it up. Look at all that room. That's what I'm talking about. This Kicks really kicks the butt of the outgoing Nissan Juke with more room. That's 25 cubic feet of space. What I like is how low the cargo floor is. And what's really great is that it's fairly easy to fold the seats down. You kind of just reach over the security shade and you push. And I'll do the same thing on this side. You reach over and you push. and you can see how you could even maximize your space even more. What I like, I think my favorite part of the cargo area is, first of all, how low the back of the vehicle is, and then second of all, I also like the way there's a very high lip here. So if you're on a hill, nothing's gonna fold back. If you wanna see what we have underneath, you get a jack, but no spare. So I guess you gotta probably buy that through the Nissan parts department at your dealership, because there's no spare on the SR trim, which is a little surprising, and I am gonna zonk that because they give you a jack, but no spare. But why don't we go ahead, let's take this Kicks for a spin. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go do it. All right, guys, we left Moss Nissan. We're in the 2020 Nissan Kicks. Right away, the thing that I like immediately is the visibility out the front windshield. I think the size of the windshield's great. The way they have the A-pillars pulled very, very far apart makes seeing out the front nice and easy. Out the back, it's a little tighter because of the size of the headrest, but still plenty of room to see clearly. Side mirrors look great. Interior-wise, the seat is comfortable and supportive. I just wish that it had a better armrest. That center armrest there, somebody needs to go back to design school or something, because that's a major zonk. No real estate for my elbow whatsoever. Dash, easy to read, easy to understand. You have your 7-inch infotainment system screen that has all the features you want, the Apple CarPlay, the Android Auto. Door panels, I wish they would have at least gone with a little bit of soft material across the top, but still, I think that we're missing the point here. $24,000, we're looking at best bang for the buck when it comes to interior space. This thing really knocks it right out of the park. If you compare this to a Trailblazer or a Buick Encore GX, you definitely have more interior room in here, especially up front. I like the way the infotainment system is set up, the way it's integrated into the dash, easy to get to, and then you're also getting that 360 shielded protection with all of the great sensory technology to keep you safe so that you arrive alive every time you drive your Nissan Kicks. Guys, we're gonna go down a little bit of a twisty road just to get some nice driving in this Kicks. I'm not gonna start from a dead stop, but on throttle, yeah, you're pretty much waiting for something to happen, and unfortunately it takes over 9 seconds for that something to happen. But like I said, that's not the purpose of this vehicle. To get 30 miles to the gallon in the city is very respectable out of a straight up internal combustion engine. This isn't a hybrid. The good news is just doing your normal driving, the CVT you're not even really gonna notice. It's just when you go on full throttle, you're gonna get that very loud buzz from that inline 4. It does have simulated gears, which kind of eases the whole operation, but still you're getting a very loud drone from the vehicle. Now, going into this left-hand bend, the chassis is actually nicely balanced for an SUV, for a subcompact SUV. Decent feedback coming to the wheel, which is gonna help with just the overall driving. This isn't a corner carver by any means, but you wanna still have decent feedback no matter what you're driving, so that when you have to do an emergency maneuver or something, you can get around and feel good about it. But I think the seats feel really great. I love the steering wheel, especially if you want something that's flat bottom. It looks very, very racy for sure. And if this was gonna be somebody's first car, or maybe just your A to B car, I think you're getting a lot of vehicle for the money. Especially keep working some kind of deal, you're definitely gonna get below sticker. Nobody's gonna pay sticker for this, or I wouldn't pay sticker for any other vehicle, but this being $24,000, if you get it out the door for 21, I think you're getting a lot of car for the money. Especially with the connectivity and the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. AC controls are easy to get to, and if you live in a colder climate state, you got heated seats, which is nice. Going over the bumps, rides fairly smooth. Not too much wind noise either, which is good. Pulling out on the highway on throttle. Yeah, you better make sure no cars are coming for at least 5 miles before you pull out onto a highway. Driving down the highway, road noise is a little high.
which is surprising. I wasn't expecting it to be that high, but it's a little noisier as you get up to speed in this Nissan Kicks. But remember, we're talking price point. Keep it apples to apples comparison. Overall, I still think you're getting a good amount of vehicle for the money, and it's just another one to definitely take a look at when you are looking for a subcompact SUV. But we are back at Moss Nissan, and we're gonna wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second.
All right, guys, it's been another wonderful day here at Moss Nissan. I definitely gotta thank David, Ray, Christian, and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2020 Nissan Kicks. Is it that subcompact SUV standout? You definitely want to add it to your list, because I think if you want something fully loaded at a price point that is very affordable, this really does pack a lot for the punch. But there is some tough competition, and you definitely want to check out those as well. But if it's small SUVs, these little subcompact crossover SUVs that you want to keep seeing on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radius Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Radius Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Uz McGee. He loves Kid Cudi. He's going to rock out on the way home. So thank you, Tom, for all your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.